My ex-friend's silent betrayal changed my life forever. I'm a 31-year-old woman, and this is something I still don't talk about openly because explaining it sounds paranoid. Until you understand what actually happened. This is about my ex-best friend, Lily. We met in college when we were both 19. Same major, same sense of humor, same anxiety about the future. We became inseparable fast. Roommates. Study partners. The kind of friends people assumed would be in each other's weddings. For years, I trusted her completely. After graduation, we moved to the same city and struggled together. Bad jobs. Worse apartments. We'd sit on the floor eating cheap takeout, talking about what our lives would look like eventually. She knew everything about me. My insecurities, my plans, my fears, my blind spots. That part matters. When I was 26, I finally landed a job that felt like a turning point. It wasn't glamorous, but it was in my field with growth potential. Lily congratulated me, helped me celebrate, even joked that I'd be the successful one first. What I didn't know was that she had applied to the same company. She never told me. I found out months later accidentally, when a mutual friend mentioned it in passing. I remember feeling weird about it, but I brushed it off. We weren't competing, I told myself. There was room for both of us. Lily didn't get the job. I did. After that, things shifted in small, almost invisible ways. She became quieter when I talked about work. She stopped asking questions. She changed the subject or make little jokes about corporate life being soulless. Nothing outright cruel, just enough to make me feel vaguely embarrassed for caring. Around that same time, my performance at work started slipping. First, it was subtle. A project I thought I'd done well on came back with unusually harsh feedback. A manager who used to be warm became distant. I was excluded from meetings I used to be part of. I assumed it was me. I worked harder, stayed later, over-explained, apologized too much. Behind the scenes, something else was happening. Lily had become friends with someone who worked in my department. I knew this, she mentioned it casually once. Said they'd met through a mutual connection and vented about work sometimes. I didn't think anything of it. Why would I? It wasn't until I was called into HR that everything clicked. They told me there were ongoing concerns about my professionalism, that I'd been described as difficult, unreliable, emotionally volatile, that I spoke negatively about leadership and couldn't handle feedback. None of it sounded like me. I asked where this was coming from. They wouldn't give names, but they mentioned things that had only ever been said in private conversations, things I'd vented about at home, things I'd said to Lily on my couch in my pajamas thinking I was safe. I felt sick. It turned out Lily had been talking, not dramatically, not angrily, calmly, casually, framing everything as concern. She's really struggling lately. She says she hates her job. She feels overwhelmed and snaps sometimes. She never lied outright. She just told selective truths to the wrong people. By the time I understood what was happening, the damage was done. I was put on a performance plan. My reputation was quietly ruined. A few months later, I was let go. Lily never confronted me, never admitted anything. When I told her I'd lost my job, she hugged me and said, "That place never deserved you anyway." I didn't accuse her. I couldn't prove anything, and part of me didn't want to believe it. We stopped talking not because of a fight, but because I couldn't sit across from someone knowing they dismantled my life in whispers. Losing that job set off a chain reaction. I burned through my savings, had to move back home temporarily. My confidence collapsed. It took years to trust coworkers again or friends. Here's the part that still messes with me. If Lily had yelled at me, sabotaged me openly, or tried to compete with me directly, I could have understood it. I could have fought back. But she didn't. She smiled. She listened. She nodded while collecting the most vulnerable pieces of me and repackaging them as character flaws. She didn't betray me loudly. She betrayed me quietly, and no one ever questioned her because she sounded reasonable. That experience changed how I move through the world. I'm more guarded now, more careful about what I share and with whom. I hate that, but I don't know how to undo it. I don't think Lily sees herself as a villain. I think she tells herself she was just being honest, just expressing concern, just protecting herself. And that's the scariest part, because sometimes the people who change your life forever don't do it with cruelty. They do it with calm voices and plausible deniability.